All We Imagine as Light was written and directed by Payal Kapadia and is a movie that actually premiered earlier this year at the Cannes Film Festival, where it got a ton of buzz, and ever since then I've actually been looking forward to seeing the movie. This is mostly a Malayalam language movie. There's some Hindi in there as well, but I finally got a chance to see it earlier, and now I'm going to talk to you guys about it. In this movie, we follow the lives of two nurses, Prabha and Anu, played by Kani Kusruti and Divya Prabha. They're having their usual 9 to 5 every other day. However, things take a bit of a turn when Prabha receives a package from her husband who isn't around, and that sends her spiraling, thinking about where her life is at the moment. Meanwhile, Anu is now in a new relationship with a boy, and it seems like things might be complicated there because society might not completely agree with their relationship. And now the rest of the movie happens with Mumbai as the backdrop. A lot of you might not know this, so a little backstory for you, but a chunk of my childhood was lived in Mumbai. That's where I grew up for the early part of it. It was like the 2000s, and I loved my time over there. It's a great city. It's a lot of wonderful people I met over there. I mean, I was a kid at the time, but I have some fond memories. I can remember street corners for you like the back of my hand. Where did that come from? And to the point that I can tell you that whatever this movie captures when it comes to Mumbai is as good as it can get. This is a visually wonderful movie that just makes that city feel more alive than ever. It's gorgeous, and I think it just shows what love Kapadia has for Mumbai. And it just makes me appreciate like that showcased on screen. There were moments where you could very clearly tell like this is someone who gets the beat of the city. And just to see life go on over there and the different developments going on for better or and worse, you know, it's just wonderfully represented. And the way these characters are representing the life that is going on in Mumbai and just showcasing different aspects of it is genuinely wonderful. These two performances in particular, Kani Kusruti and Divya Prabha, fantastic work from the both of them. Their performances are so subtle. Like, they don't try to overtop themselves any. Their performances are so subtle. There's never a point where either one of them is trying to do more than what the scene requires. They play it very quietly oftentimes, especially Kusruti. There are moments with her where she is able to convey a lot without saying or doing anything. It's just all in the eyes. And she does it remarkably. This is a very well done performance and a very well directed and written character at that. And the same thing goes for Anu. Because again, you have to remember, both of them are dealing with completely different situations, both of which are not particularly great. One of them lacks love and a partner in her life. One of them has a partner, but might not for a while, depending on how society views them. That being because her new boyfriend, Shiaz, is a Muslim and she's a Hindu girl. That's not something everybody seems to be okay with around her, and that might cause an issue. And so the movie deals with those stigmas as well. And then there's also a third storyline involved with Prabha's friend Parvati, played by Chaya Kadam, who is dealing with her own issues because there's an urban housing development that's about to happen where she is, and that might result in her losing her home and her livelihood in Mumbai. And again, that taps into another thing about what's going on in the city, because there's changes happening that affect people who aren't on top of things when it comes to money and just means. And the way the movie tackles those aspects is also very effective. There are a couple of times where I think it could have gone even more into some of that, but at the same time, it does enough that you're able to kind of understand what the movie is trying to address while telling the stories of these characters. And I think for the most part, it does a pretty good job of that. There is a shift that eventually happens when it comes to the scenery and how the movie is telling its story. Once that shift happens, I think the movie does some very, very interesting and fascinating things. And I'm not going to say too much about it because I would rather you see the movie for yourself. But there is a latter half of the movie. The back half is very, very different from the first half of the movie. And that back half of the movie where there are things that change, I would say is incredibly euphoric and transcendent even. I think there are some some gorgeous moments over there which are brought to life, and some great dialogue moments as well, and moments that are allowed to breathe. There's never a rush when it comes to this movie. In that sense, I can see some people calling this movie very slow and it takes its time. It does, but it's not slow in like the boring sense. Like, you're not sort of checking your watch and going, oh, can we pick up the pace, you know? Not like that. It's more like you need to let the scene sort of simmer. You need to let those moments with these characters take the time that they need to fully grasp the emotions behind it. Do I think some scenes go a little longer than others? Maybe a little bit. I do think there is a case of an extended ending over here at times as well, because there's a few fake out moments where you think, oh, the movie's gonna end here, and then it keeps going, and then you're like, oh, it's gonna end here, and then it keeps going. There's a few shots like that, but at the same time, it's paradoxically, it's something that the movie does need. That being said, I still think All We Imagine As Light is a wonderfully done movie. I think it's a magical film in a lot of ways, and it's a very special movie. And it's one that is worth seeing, so whenever you guys get a chance to see it, I hope you go and check it out. It's a visually vibrant movie. It's very well acted and directed and written, and the stories it's telling do genuinely leave a profound impact on you by the end. I'm gonna give All We Imagine As Light a 9 out of 10. We are really in a really blessed time right now when it comes to movies. I mean, it's genuinely amazing to see so many wonderful stories being told, and being told as well as they are. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very, very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.